Pizza guys/girls, does your shop have a no delivery list? What houses are on it and why? There was an older man who suffered from dementia that would order 4 fountain drinks and nothing else from my shop, then would tip about $300 every time. After hearing about it a couple times, I told my manager, and we all agreed to get in contact with his family, let them know we wouldn't take orders from him, and that they'd have to take some measures to keep him from doing the same with other establishments. God only knows how much money that guy gave away. My friend who is a pizza guy told he asked his manager to bang the house because they always wants him to wait until they eat first slice and then complain pizza is not well made and asks for some discount or coupon and ends up not paying tip acting angry. I delivered to the dorms when I was in college, back before credit cards could be used to pay for pizza. In the largest men's dorm, we had a war with some of the residents after they got pissed when we wouldn't accept an expired coupon for a 14 pizza order. So they kept calling us up with ghost orders and making life hell for us over the course of a few weeks. So we stopped delivering to anyone in that dorm, as we were the cheapest pizza in town. That did not go over well with them. The Raz got every student in that dorm together and told them to knock it off or get kicked out. So we tried to deliver again and the same happened. So we banned that dorm forever. It was cool by me because those idiots would place 5 to 20 pizza orders and tip $2. I was delivering for Godfathers in Memphis in 1988. We had no delivery houses as well as areas. We had one area smack dab in the middle of our normal delivery zone that was blocked out. It was a low-income apartment complex. We got a new manager. He was eager to up his numbers, so quickly changed that area to being a legit delivery area. The first time he handed me an order for that complex, I explained that it was a really complex and we didn't go there for a reason. He accused me of being racist because I didn't want to deliver to the complex. Complex was all black, I was white, manager was black, and said just to deliver it and quit complaining. Okay, man. So I drive it out there and walk upstairs to the apartment door. I knock. No answer. I look a bit closer and it is obviously a vacant apartment. So I head back to my car and I'm sorting my money bag and next order when I glance up in the rearview mirror. I see 3 bad looking dudes crossing the parking lot heading right for my car. I notice one of them is carrying a rifle. Holy. I cranked up my VW Rabbit, threw it in reverse, and hauled out of the lot. I get back to the shop and the new manager accused me of making it all up and said he didn't think I had even attempted to deliver it. He says to go back out there. I say no way, dude. He insists, so I insist he comes with me. He agrees. We drive back out there. He carries the pizza up the stairs, realizes that it is a vacant apartment, and quickly gets back in the car. Sorry dude, you were right. It was a setup. We got back to the shop and he marked the whole area off limits again. I used to deliver sandwiches for a shop. We had to blacklist this one lady who would call up last minute and demand 50 to 100 sandwiches for her meetings and she wanted them delivered in 15 minutes. We explained things to her over and over again that this was not how it worked, but she still demanded her order. So, when it showed up 45 minutes later than expected, she became a monster, causing a scene, not tipping, sending in complaints to the district manager, etc. This happened so many times, and finally, one day, she called in an order for 200 sandwiches, wanted it in 15 minutes. I delivered it myself, and she took the sandwiches from me for her meeting. I sat there and waited for her to sign the receipt, and waited and waited. Turns out, she took the sandwiches into her meeting and booked the hell out of there, not signing the receipt. She then called her bank to cancel the charge on her card and called us in for fraud. She had the nerve to call up our district manager and said that we owed this to her since all of her orders were late. She was blacklisted after that, and my district manager finally apologized for not believing me on this story. Drug reps are the worst. Long time ago for me, but we had a huge delivery area and several entire apartment complexes blacklisted because they were hideously unsafe for anyone thought to be carrying money. There were also a couple where we would deliver to the front gate only, not go into the complex itself. Greens Point area, north side of Houston in the early 90s for those aware of the area. A lady on our delivery route was always just getting out of the shower when we arrived and kept accidentally dropping her towel. There wasn't a single driver in our shop who hadn't seen every disgusting fold and lump on the front of that 300 pounds acne covered body. The manager finally warned her that if she did it again she would be banned. She of course did it again, and I like to think the resultant loss of home delivered pizza translated into a net benefit for her physical health, just as it had done for our mental health. I used to be a delivery driver for Pizza Hut. I used to work the Sunday afternoon shifts and would have the same man order a supreme pizza every week. I was always the one to deliver his order because most of the time I was the only driver on duty at that time of day. Alan was a nice, quiet man who had a lovely front porch. One day, I didn't take his delivery for some reason. Poor Marvin took the delivery instead on the day that Alan decides to open the door stark naked. Alan wanted to show me, a small red-headed girl, the goods, not big black Marvin. Alan never got another delivery. I delivered pizza in NJ. I went on the porch to see a snarling Rottweiler behind the door. Not a big deal. Happens a lot. I'm a stranger, the dog is just being a dog. The lady pushes him back. We do the pizza transaction. And as I'm turning to go the lady said, "Oh my god, he's out." The back door was open and the dog was charging around the house about to come on the porch. I quickly opened the door to run inside, but the lady screamed no, the really bad one is inside, and I see a biggerotti just inside the hall. So I stick myself between the screen door and the real door, and I'm trapped in an angry dog sandwich. The outside dog bites my calf because I can only close the screen door so much. Not much damage but I'm bleeding. The manager goes to talk with the lady. It is like 1/8 of a mile from the store or that lazy wouldn't have bothered, and Ross is penned up out back. As soon as the lady starts talking to him another small mutt dog zips out the door and bites him on the hand. He made the call on no more pizza for them. We had a guy and 2 girls order separately, then grab the pizzas and run. The girls had picked the food up and left while the guy was paying. After 30 seconds the guy bolted. It was a $100 order. My manager, who is a frequent gym goer, leapt the counter and gave chase. The 2 girls had gotten into a car with the food, but when they saw my manager they drove off leaving the guy. My manager chased him 3 blocks and was gaining on the guy when the girls pulled up and the guy got into the car. Unfortunately, all 3 of them went to school with a kitchen hand at the store, so we had names, jobs, addresses, and Facebook accounts. We contacted them all on Facebook and got them to pay for the pizzas the next morning under threat of contacting police. We also put them on the no delivery list. When I worked at a pizza place, we just had one person that we wouldn't deliver to because he would always refuse to pay and hassle the delivery guy, saying the pizza was cold, took too long, wasn't the right order, whatever. He probably got a couple free pizzas at least before we stopped bothering sending him anymore. At our shop we banned an older man who tried to molest one of our larger male employees. Another guy just happened to be facing the window, so the drivers could see him. This happened a couple times, so the cops were called. Turned out he had a record of doing this, but also doing it in front of school buses. Worked at Papa John's. The only place on the no delivery list were bounced checks. We had one driver get his knee bashed sideways with a baseball bat and money stolen. I delivered to the same place the next night. They didn't care about getting robbed because the driver is only supposed to have $25 maximum on him all times. So everything over that $25 the driver had to pay for. This driver, I think, had to pay around $125 after being assaulted. Ugh, I'm on the no delivery list of 2 restaurants because my roommate is a idiot and can't math to save his life. He once sent a driver away after a heated conversation with a 25-cent tip. Unfortunately, I was in the shower at the time. It wasn't until afterwards that he was explaining the situation to me that I realized what a moron he was. The bill came to $20.25. He gave the guy $20 and thought it was a good tip because we ordered 2 sandwiches that were basically $7 a piece and a $1 soda for a total of $15. So $5 tip. In actuality, the sandwiches were $7.99 and the soda was $1.99. So $18 right there. Then there was a $2.25 delivery fee. So $20.25. Unfortunately, the delivery guy spoke almost zero English, so all he could say was not enough to my roommate, and my roommate is an hat who wouldn't read the damned receipt. He is no longer allowed to answer our door. Our greedy owner refused to develop such a list, even after 2 of our drivers were mugged at the same house. They wouldn't let us avoid neighborhoods, no matter how unsafe, no matter what time of day. We had a few blacklisted numbers/addresses, mostly with the people who wrote bad checks, or would constantly complain/return orders/make threats. One address that was on the absolute edge of our delivery area, a business all by itself on the edge of town, got blackballed because people from outside the delivery area would give that address and meet us there. A couple of bad neighborhoods, including one that was literally 6 dilapidated trailers in the middle of a field with a 2-track going back to it, nothing but crackheads with pit bulls and rotties with no leash, were blacklisted too. Okay, we had a really nasty apartment complex in one area of Sacramento. Totally a no. One night a new guy took an order and actually accepted one from there. I was about to call back and say no. I was assistant manager at the time, but running pizzas that day when in come 2 cops to pick up their pizza. They listen in and offer to tag along. I was dumb and crazy then, so we made the pizza and I loaded into my little truck and drove out there. As soon as we pull into the parking lot, the cop turns off all his lights and coasts into TH spot next to mine. I walk up, start the spiel, and start listening to their story of this guy, or that guy ordered it. I started to walk away, and one of the shady dudes steps out of the bushes next to me, where he'd been hiding. Instantly, every light came on the cop car. Flashes, both spotlights pointing right at me, the cops getting out of the car, fast. Dude steps way back. I walk back to my car, and a couple cops got an extra free pizza that night, and I got a great story.